Hey guys, it's Destiny, and sorry this video is up kind of late. Just been adjusting to having two small kids and everything, so things have been a little bit hit and miss around here, and just kind of trying to figure things out, get a routine down. Yes, I cut my hair. I did a mop chop. I cut off about I'd say like that much, however many inches that is. What is that, like 6 inches? I don't know, something like that. But yeah, it's like an A-line bob kind of thing. Yeah, it looks kind of weird. I got it done yesterday. I put some waves in it today, so I'm just trying to get used to it. So if it looks a little questionable, that's why. Anyways, moving on. This is my labor and delivery story for my daughter. I had her on May 12th, 2014 at 9:50 at night, and she's right here. So if you hear something vibrating, it's this rock and play. But yes, she is beautiful. She's perfect. Her name is Sawyer Paisley. We had the name Sawyer picked out since before I knew I was even pregnant. I just felt like I was pregnant, but I heard that name or I saw that name, and I just thought my next kid, like if it's a girl, her name will be Sawyer. And yeah, I found out I was pregnant probably like later that week or the next week after that. And I started calling the baby Sawyer from the beginning. So, and then Paisley, I just really love that name. I think it's cute, but it's not, I kind of like strong first names because my son's name is Wyatt, and that's just very like to the point. So with Sawyer for a girl is very strong. It's usually a masculine name, but I tweaked it and it is a girl name for us, and I just can't see it being a boy name anymore. And Paisley is just too feminine, but we wanted to balance out the masculine first name, so that's why we went with Paisley. It was either going to be Paisley or be Elizabeth, but we just chose Paisley. I just like it a little bit better. Anyways, so yeah, that's her name, Sawyer Paisley, and she's just perfect. Anyways, I'll go ahead and jump into it. I'll try to make this super quick. So, May 12th, that morning around 6 a.m. I woke up with contractions. They were about 12 minutes apart. They stayed consistent, I think, till 11. And then they kind of died down until 4. My husband got home. I was like, hey, let's go on a family walk. So we did, and I pulled my son in the wagon. The contractions picked back up to 7 minutes apart for about an hour, and then we walked home, and they became 4 minutes apart. So I was like, we better get the stuff and go. So I called my midwife. We got everything in the car. It was about 8 o'clock at night. No, 6, I think it was 6:30 at night. It was 6, almost 7. So we got all the stuff in the car. We drove. My hospital's about 45 minutes to an hour away. We drove there. In the car, they became 2 or 3 minutes apart. So I was getting kind of scared that we weren't going to make it. We did make it. They checked me as soon as I got there in triage, and they were like, oh, you're 8 centimeters and your bag of water is bulging. So they had me walk over to the across the hall to my hospital room, and if you don't know, I was able to labor in a birthing tub with my son, so I was expecting the same thing with my daughter, but no one was there, so the tub takes 45 minutes to fill up from scratch. There wasn't enough time, so I was freaking out, like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? Because I just didn't want to deliver, and everything be so dry down there, it just freaks me out. But that's what I had to do, so we did that. We walked across the hall. I had about 3 or 4 more normal contractions, and then all of a sudden my body started pushing. I'm not one to push like for 10 seconds for each contraction, like those with an epidural would, or maybe those that are being coached by somebody. I kind of just let my body do it on its own. And if I don't feel a contraction, I don't push. I don't make myself push if I don't have to. So I had about 4 or 5 more normal contractions, so that's about 5 minutes went by, and then my body started pushing. My midwife was not in the room yet, so finally Anne, which is another midwife that I'm fond of, that did my membrane sweep with my son last year, she walked in, and I was so thankful to see her. She checked me, and she's like, oh honey, you're 10 centimeters, we need to go ahead and, get our gowns on and gloves on and get ready to do this. So, of course I was freaking out, but she put everything on, the nurse was in there, my husband and my son were there. My mom was not able to make it, unfortunately, for the birth. She came out on the 14th, and I had her on the 12th, but I was able to do it. So yeah, I laid back, and she had her hand in there, because I tore last time, so she knew my fear of tearing again. So, it's Sawyer. So I'll show you a close-up in a little while. But, yeah, I was scared, and she had her hand in there. She told me she was going to give me some perineum massage or perineum support. So she did, and she was like, oh, do you want to reach in and feel your baby's head? It's right here. And I was just so scared because I tore so bad with my son. It was such a rough recovery for me last year that I didn't want to risk any kind of tearing or anything again. I didn't want to have any more hands in there that need to be in there. I was just like, no, I don't want to touch her. Like, I just want to, like, get her out and, you know, deal with as least trauma as I have to. So, I'd say probably I pushed maybe 5 or 6 times and she came out. I didn't have, like, her coming out and going back in kind of thing. But I was just doing little tiny pushes, getting her out easy. I did have a 1st-degree tear. She gave me 1 stitch, but yeah, she came out and it was great. It was a completely beautiful moment. It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. And she was so tiny, but compared to my son, who was 7'5", she was 6'9". Not much of a difference, but a little bit. But she just felt a lot smaller. So yeah, we got to hold her, and that's when we chose the name, her middle name Paisley, because she was so small, and I just think Paisley sounds like a small, delicate flower. It probably isn't, but it just sounds that way. So yeah, so we did 2 hours of skin to skin. After that, we delivered the placenta. She gave me my stitch. Placenta came out great. It came out, you know, everything looked good on her. But yeah. So after that, I would say, you know, they came in, or after about the 2 hours of skin to skin, we tried to latch for breastfeeding, which really hurt those first 2 days, and it still kind of hurts now. Sometimes it's tender, but breastfeeding is still going strong. So, and if she doesn't wake up to feed, then I pump whatever I need to pump, but for the most part, I breastfeed on demand every 30 minutes to 2 hours, depending on if she's going through cluster feeding or not. But yeah, post-delivery went great. Everything's been going good so far. I'm back down to my pre-pregnancy weight. I'm under that, actually. I'm really happy. If you haven't seen my postpartum update, you can go visit that, and that'll kind of give you an update about me. But I'll go ahead and show her. And she is such a wonderful baby. Oh, she's sleeping. Ooh. But yeah, this is her. She's a grunting, one of those grunting babies. My son totally wasn't like this, but I hope you can see her. But yeah, she doesn't have that much hair. She has a lot more in the back bottom, but she's pretty long and skinny, but she's definitely chunking up. She has dark brown hair, and she has green eyes, actually, like my husband. But yeah, I'm so happy, and I'm so glad she's here. And we've been doing so good. Oh, stick my lip out. Ooh. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them below. And hopefully we'll be doing a lot more videos with Sawyer in them. She'll be making appearances. Ooh, see, I kicked my socks off, Mom. Oh, see, I'm ready to feed. Alright, well, thanks so much for watching again, and I will talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.